Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the situation report for the day of 1122 for the, not 210, 21st of March, for the Ukraine war or the special military operation in Ukraine. This video is likely to be double posted on both main channel and the war channel due to YouTube limiting our reach, so I have no choice but to double post on both sides, so to get maximum reach. So anyway, we're going to start off. There will be no Russian defense ministries reporting for the most of the Ukraine war. They only have for the Kursk Front due to their weekly summary. So we're going to start off from the Kursk Front. At the Kursk Front commanders, we have the same large situation, and we still have the persisting of the lack of report at Goevo. There is no report at Goevo by the Russian Defense Ministry. They only mention the fighting at Gornau, Oleshnya, and Gogolevka. And what I didn't note here is that the Ukrainians have blown up the Sudzha metering station. And of course, the Ukrainians blow it up and then blame it on the Russians, as usual. Because there is basically no reason for the Russians to shell their own facilities. They're going to take it back regardless. And the Ukrainians have been literally using it as a very safe logistic base because they know that the Russians will not hit it. They will not hit that freaking gas metering station. So, and thus, it is still survived until now, despite the Ukrainians have been using it as a logistic HQ. Because if you look into how it looks like, there's a lot of gas pipeline around here. And the reality is that the gas pipeline here is still filled with gas. The Russians basically, when they do the gas pipeline attack, they have this balloon thing that choke up the pipe so that the gas don't come over from the other side, and then they do their operations. So it's a very, which is why the gas pipeline attack is such a huge military achievement. Regardless how you look at it, is because they literally go into a pipe that is actually filled with real gas, and the rest of the pipe is still filled with gas. That's the main thing, how dangerous that operation actually is. So the Ukrainians have been using this as a safe logistic HQ, and yeah, they blow it up because they know that they cannot hold it anymore. So which means that this is also a sign. This so I put it as blue. So this is also a sign, an imminent sign that the Ukrainians is going to withdraw out of this area of the Kursk Front very soon. Once they start to blow up this, then yeah, they are not going to stay here anymore. So this probably is the sign of the Ukrainians resigning from the Kursk Front. So there's a situation in this sector. In the southernmost part, where the Ukrainians are still trying to do the Belgorod incursion. The fighting here still is being reported by Russian sources. Ukrainians are still attacking Demidovka, Gravovka, as well as Polessia. I found a different name, is Priliessia. So this is another name to which sounds a lot nicer, Polessia. And however, there is already Lancet flying around this area. A Lancet that destroyed Ukrainian artillery. And on top of that, just want to note something that I have not said this before, is the Ukrainians deploying remote mining along the road around Grafovka. We have seen this tactic being done before. So the Ukrainians tend to attack a certain area. They will then remote mine the main roads leading to the main town where the Ukrainians are trying to conquer. They have done this actually when they were attacking into the Kursk Front. And I believe other operations, if I didn't remember wrongly, they have done the same thing. And usually it's relatively successful because it limits the Russians' ability to quickly reinforce and search the area with troops. So this is the current situation over in this sector. Tentatively, this is going to be the Belgorod sector of the Kursk Front. Because it's still part of the same one front line for now. But in the future, we might change the name. We shall see. Over in the Kharkiv front, we only have reports of fighting at Voshchansk, according to the Ukrainians. Nothing particularly special about that. Over in the Voronezh front, there is nothing except for a mention of Holubivka, which is neither here nor there. It's neither Voronezh nor Kupian-ish. So there's some fighting around there. So at the Kupiansk front, there is also fighting reported at Pischane. So that's about it. Nothing new. Over in the Borova front, we have the concentration of fighting over Kryakivka and Zaporizhzhia. Kopanki is also mentioned by the Ukrainian Defense Ministry of some fighting. Nothing particularly outstanding here. Moving into the northern flank of the Leman front, in fact, northern flank of the Leman front, we have fighting reported at Novo-Mikhailivka, Norway, as well as Zelena Dolena. Fighting is reported also at Novo-Lyubivka and Ivanivka region. According to Deep State UA, the pro-Ukrainian mapping, there is some frontline change in the area of Novo-Lyubivka and Ivanivka. The Russian forces have captured another two area of forests. Two forests has been taken by the Russian forces in the southwest of Novo-Lyubivka or the northwest of Ivanivka. So there's some frontline change around here. There is no frontline changes report because there's only 2 frontline changes for the past 24 hours. So that is very few stuff. So I didn't do a video on that. Which I instead try to push the conclusions, which also struggles to get reach, unfortunately. Fighting is reported at Torsk as well as Yampolivka. According to Ukrainian mapping, again at Yampolivka, there is some slight frontline change around on the eastern part of Yampolivka. Just some slight change, which relates to some part of the forest, and so that's about it. Over in this sector, the Russians are making pushes in this area here, but you can see it's really, really difficult. Over in the Sivers front, we have the Russians continue to do offensive operations around at Belgorod and Ivano-Darivka. And we have the mention of Rozdolivka since like forever. We haven't seen anything mentioned here like in a long time since last year, November. So the Ukrainians mentioned Rozdolivka. There's some Russian activities around this area here. So that's something interesting, I would say. Moving into the Bakhmut front, we have only Chasivya being mentioned, Patashne as well as Andrievka. The Andrievka is a bit weird because this is we haven't seen this being mentioned in a long time. And the last time it was mentioned was in December. And Andrievka is such a real position right now. So this is mentioned by the Ukrainians. Very, very interesting. At Vyro-Lubivka, there is another Lancet hitting a Ukrainian tank. So suddenly there is a few geolocation of Lancets being used. So that's a bit interesting to me. But let's see. Moving into the Torx front, there's nothing over in the southern flank except for geolocation of Russian forces, confirming Russian presence in the south of Alexandropil. At the Torx sector, we have only mention of Druzhba, Dashne, as well as Torx. There's some fighting reported in these regions here. Nothing particularly special as well. So everything continues as per routine over in the Pocront front. At the Pocront front, we have fighting reported at Zelene Pole as well as Yelizavetivka. Nothing else about this area. We move on to the Milrat sector with the mention of Lysivka. According to Russian sources, Ukrainians are attacking at Shevchenko. Fierce fighting being reported there. So this shows that Ukrainians continue want to hold this position. They have some kind of foothold already, so they probably don't want to release it. The same happened at Kotline with the Ukrainians attacking there. The Ukrainians say that the Russians are attacking at Udashny. So that is something for now. Moving into the southern flank of the Pocront front, fighting is reported at Preobrazhenka and Bodanivka. And that's all. So yeah, the Russians not really doing a lot, if you ask me, by the look of it, for the past 24 hours. And the Andrievka front, strategically also remains the same. Fighting at Andriivka, Constantinople, and towards Roslev was noted. FPV drone strike was geolocated around Roslev. So that's all. And we move on to the Velika Novosilka front with fighting reported at Dnipro and here, Privene as well as Novosilka. Other geolocations was noted here with also FPV drones hitting Ukrainian vehicles over at Fedorivka and Visele. And that's all from Velika Novosilka. And we move to the Zaporizhzhia front. North of Huepole, there is a Russian airstrike noted, a fat hit there. And the rest of the Zaporizhzhia front went quiet. There's no reports at the Kayamsky sector. I wonder if the Russians went onto a pause, to not attack for now. Suddenly went really quiet because this was an active offensive operation zone. So, and we move on to the Kherson front. Kherson front, because there is no Russian Defense Ministry report, so there's no shelling reports. The Ukrainians did mention that the Russians did try to attack their position in the Dnipro direction. They did not mention where it is. So as per usual, we usually put it here at pre-Dniprovsky. And that's it. So this is the summary for the day of 1122 for the 21st of March. So do press the like button, subscribe, especially on the main channel. We are trying to go for 100,000, so help to support. And yeah, YouTube limit DPS reach again, so everything just plummet. If you look at the views, you can probably see yourself. So yeah, the battle and the fight against YouTube algorithm continues. The YouTube algorithm army, yeah, forever is not nice to us. They are our permanent enemy. So anyway, that's it. I'll see you guys in the next update.